Good morning, wonderful peoples of the world. It's Kat, and I'm just making this short video to to tell anybody who is not supportive of me and is going to abuse me with these statements like "go back home and be with your family," no matter how well intentioned, means you did not listen to any of my videos telling you that I have no home to go to, in part because of Owen's influence, but it was ultimately my decision, of course. I'm not saying that. I'm not putting responsibility on other people. It is my responsibility. But it is very hurtful for people to say, go back home when I have no home, or to go be with my family when I have no family but my daughter who is in Canada, who I just had a big ordeal with the Canadian Border Patrol and the homeland and security. They sicked on me. I refused to wear a mask at the border. They said if you don't, they kept repeatedly telling me to wear a mask, and I said I'm not going to wear anything more than this scarf. They go, we have other. I said I have a medical exemption. Well, we have this and we have shields and all this shit. I am not going to bow to that authority. They are abusing it, and I'm not going for it. So I stand up to them. Does anyone else have the courage to stand up to these people? These so-called authorities? Authoritarians? So I did not. And then they said, well, if you're not going to wear a mask, I said, it is not a law. And I said, show me the law. And they just showed me some numbers and shit after I don't know how long. But then they said, well, then we're being nice and conveniencing you by letting you sit here out in the lobby. Nobody was in that lobby besides the people who worked there, who were way far away from me, at least like 20 feet away from me. And one Ethiopian guy who had a mask on, who they were harassing, actually had him give up his DNA. I kept saying, don't do it, dude, don't do it. And he did it because he wanted to get into the United States or whatever the hell he was doing. He would do anything to do that. So I guess I could understand that, and he had the language barrier and everything. But I asked him if he was bothered by me not having a mask on. He said no. I says, if you are, you will have to move away from me because you came into my space. He goes, no, that's okay. And he just stayed there. And then they came over and said, okay, if you're not going to put it on, you have to go in a cell. I go, well, do whatever you're going to do, if that makes you feel good. So they put me in a cell and they had to frisk me. Then they had to frisk me the first time I went in the cell to use the bathroom. Then they threatened me to put me in a cell, and I said, go ahead then, I'm not putting on a mask. So then they had to frisk me again, and I didn't go anywhere, and I didn't have anything. I didn't have my purse or nothing with me. And they frisked me again. And then that bitch got a little too frisky with me, and I started fucking with her, say, oh, that feels good, just when she was rubbing over my you-know-what. I said, do it some more. Oh, do it some more. Oh, I kept doing that to fucking humiliate that bitch. They didn't say nothing. Two women standing there while I did that. So then they they don't let me have my shoes when I have this chilblains problem, almost frostbite in my toe. And they took away my coat. They took away my my necklaces, my anti-radiation jewelry, which has no metal in it. I don't wear metal on my body. They took my purse, they took my phone, they took my glasses, they took everything away from me. Then when I got too cold, and they gave me a freaking blanket that I would not use. It was not even real blanket, whatever they call it. It was like some kind of crap fiber that I'd be sensitive to. I said, no, I don't want that. So they gave me my coat back, and I was able to put it on my feet. So why then couldn't I have it in the first place if they could give it back to me? Okay, then after a while, then a couple guys come in that are homeland security, investigators, like the top dog, I guess. And I said, why? What kind of questions you want to ask me? I've done nothing wrong. I'm not a criminal. I had my weed on me, but they said that it's, you know how they trap you with that federal crap. Oh, it's legal in Washington, but you can't have it. You can't cross the border with it. And I wasn't crossing the border. I got trapped into that. I took a wrong turn and was forced to go through the border and be harassed by both fucking countries on both sides. The Canadian side wasn't too bad, but they probably knew they were sending me to the bigger trap. Then they wanted me to go through a fucking x-ray machine in my car. And I said, no, you know that's radiation and that's not good for you. Don't do it. So they drove my car through and let them get the radiation. Those ignorant bastards don't even know how stupid they are and what they're doing to themselves in the name of just the law. Sure, right? Okay. So then I told them I had weed, and I told them there's narcotics in there too. So luckily I did tell them the truth because I declared it and they had nothing to hold me on. They took all my weed, but they took out my narcotics and rebagged them and counted them and all that stuff, but they gave them back to me. So what do you think of that? So anyway, before that all happened, this took 5 fucking hours, guys. Then they had me, before they released me, they were just trying to scare me into incriminating myself or something. So they put me, for that officer or the guy from the agent, the Homeland Security agent brought in my medicine and let me take one. He handed me the whole bottle. I could have taken 5 or 10 or something. I said, I'm just going to take one because I was getting a migraine from being in there from the light, that it turned off the light for me and then they kept turning it on, and it was just total harassment, you know. But then I ended up later having to go into the office and talk to the Homeland Security agents. And they said they wanted to ask me questions again. I said, yeah, I want to ask you some questions. Like, what if this was your mother this was happening to? And da-da-da-da-da-da. So I just stayed strong through that whole thing. And then they read me my Miranda rights. I said, I'm not saying anything. I don't want a free lawyer. I'm not doing any of that. So... And I talked to him a little bit, and the fact that he got migraines, he understood what it's like to have a migraine. So he kind of bonded with me a little bit there. But then at the end of our conversation, we talked a little bit more about other stuff. And I said, he said he was an empath too. And I said, if you're such an empath, why are you doing this to this kind of job? He goes, well, this isn't actually my real job, what I do. I just happen to be here today. I usually work to rescue the children. And that's what I'm all about. And we talked a little bit about that. And I think that's what really bonded us, because later when they came in my cell and said they determined that I was okay, I was legal, I did nothing wrong, and they admitted it. And they decided, and I think the decision was based on that man's testimony on my behalf. I swear to God, because after that, there was a shift change. I mean, there was an actual shift during the shift change when new workers came on. And everyone after that, the ones all during the first abusive, except 1 or 2 people were nice. The one guy that reminded me of Joe Pesci was pretty nice to me. They kept offering me water that I refused, and their juice I refused, and crackers and food. I said, I cannot eat your stuff. I have a limited diet. The other shift brought me bottled water, bottles of bottled water. The people on the new shift were so respectful of me. 6 of them were standing around while I put stuff back into my car, into the trunk, that they tore apart my whole car and disorganized everything I had to try to put back together. And I looked at, I said, you got 6 of you going to just stand here and watch me while I do this? They go, no, we're just here to help you if you need help. That's how no business they have at the border. Me and one other guy, and they can just for 2 people being at the border. So I says, well, some of them went away, and a couple of them did help me lift in the heavy things, my safe and whatever. And a couple people were talking to me, and a guy was saying, I see all your health stuff there, and I recognize all that. That's all the stuff my mom was doing before she died. At 62, she died knowing this stuff, but he said she started too late. So this is the stuff I'm trying to tell you people, so you won't be dead at 62. I'm going to be 70, and I've outlived almost all my siblings. Of 8 of us, there's only 2 left. The 2 youngest ones are left. I've outlived them all. Even my one older brother, who was like, he was quite a bit older than me, but the ones below me were only like a year and a half, 3 years, 7 years. Even the one was 13 years younger than me is dead. These are all my sisters and brothers that are dead because they're ignorant. My people perish for lack of knowledge. So anyway, they let me go. I believe that had to do with the Homeland Security agent's decision that I was a good person, and they all respected me after that. The whole energy changed. And then the girl she kept saying, oh my God. And she was from, guess where the girl was from that was listening to me that said, I have to keep researching all this stuff. You've given me so much to research. She was from Gig Harbor. And I said, did you ever hear of Owen Benjamin? She goes, yes, I think I have. And she was, oh my God, what a small world, eh? Gig Harbor, the officer at the border, the American Border Patrol. Young girl. And on the way out, when I was driving out, she said, I told her, here's one thing else you can research. Do you know that cannabis is in the Bible? She goes, no, I did not know that. I says, it's spelt cannabism, K-A-N-E-H-B-O-S-M. Cannabism is in the Bible. She goes, God, I will research that too. You've given me so much to look into. And she says, I will never forget you. That's the kind of stuff I live for. That's my payment. That's my currency. People getting it. People getting it. While Owen says that about people, oh, they get it. Well, he gets their money. They're not getting anything real important like this. They're just getting superfluous stuff that he puts out there. So anyway, too bad he's not doing more with his leadership role. So I'm telling you right now, you start talking me down, telling me to go back to my family that I cannot go to. This was an accident that I went into Canada, but I see where it was a test. And I came through strong. They said, wow, you are such a strong woman. They could hardly believe that I'm going to be 70. In person, you would not know that I'm that age. You would think I'm much younger. So I have to go because there's a truck coming right now. So everyone have a wonderful day. God bless you.